The Bible is for
Well, and speaking of friends, welcome to Christian Movie Club, everybody. This is the segment of our podcast where we discuss Christian movies, and sometimes we bring in very special friends, and today is one of those days. Can we get a round of applause for our friend Ben Kessler? You know him as the Lord's Giant, everybody.
Yay! We got him!
Ben.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate this. This was, I want to say, a good time, kind of. For the audience at home, I've never seen BibleMan before. I've seen BibleMan in memes, but I've never seen BibleMan straight up as what it was. And I have a lot of thoughts and opinions, but yeah, thanks for having me on.
You're here, and we are reviewing a BibleMan movie today. As we released this movie on May the 4th. I'm not sure when you are consuming it, but I said to myself, I would like to do BibleMan. He is the most Christian Jedi in the history of Jedi, in my opinion, and there it is. This is why Ben is with us today.
Dude, right there. Right there.
Because he is equipped. Let him cook.
One of my favorite things, not to give anything away, it doesn't, is just how BibleMan will just be walking around a corner like, just like this, just waiting to just absolutely, we'll get into it, but decimate his opponents. Okay.
In the name of the Lord, of course.
In the name of the Lord. Ben, I have to ask you, and my son sent this question in, actually, for you specifically.
Okay, perfect.
He's 10 years old. How tall are you, Ben?
I'm 6'3".
6'3".
Yeah.
When you're 6'3", let me tell you something I witnessed, and I wanted to ask you about this. I was at a very unsanctioned zoo in the sticks of Georgia. It was called the Safari. This shouldn't be happening. Whatever was happening there shouldn't be happening. Anyway, there was
Run
a guy
by Tiger
there,
King himself.
at least Tiger King adjacent. And there was a guy there who was tall, who was like over 6'2", over 6'. And I watched this interaction of this white woman who walked up to him and was like, "How tall are you?" And he literally didn't turn around. And I thought to myself, that is a man who's been asked that too many times. And you don't get, just because there's a large individual around you doesn't mean you get to just fire off that question. Like that's so weird. Is that a thing you tall people deal with?
Absolutely. Ever since I was younger, as it like you do get treated a bit like a thing rather than a person, because it's like, oh my gosh, and I'm like 8 inches taller than you. It's not, if I was like 9 feet tall, I'd get it, because it'd be like, how do you get in a car? But I'm like maybe a foot taller than your average person, and they're like, oh my gosh, especially down here in Texas, like goodness. Or you get a lot of, especially down here, you get a lot of like Southern boys and good old boys being like big fella, which you'll just get that, which is a fun like comment to get whenever you're like not having a great day, and then somebody's like, whoa, and you're like, all right. People often will act like, whenever I'm in a place, especially a small place, they'll act like they let a horse in, and everybody's like, whoa, whoa there. It's like, so yeah,
stand behind him.
Those questions do get right. Hey.
Yeah.
But also like the most friendly, funny horse that we've all met before.
There you go. A horse that'll pray with you. A horse that'll just, God bless, my friend. There we go.
I want to scratch your chin, though, too. I will say that. You walk in, I would want to give you
You got to give him an apple first.
Yeah.
It's like,
just don't stand behind me and kick.
I watched this little interaction, and it was like, did you play basketball? And I'm just like, what? Because a person is you don't get to, there was no hello. You didn't say hello. You didn't introduce yourself. You just start firing off questions.
You mentioned that the woman was white. Was the man white? Or...
He was a black man.
So this white woman goes up to a tall black guy and is like, "You play basketball?"
How tall are you? You play basketball?
So I understand why he's like, I just can't.
He literally didn't engage at all, and I just thought, kind of good for you. That's rude.
Yeah.
Frankly,
no, I respect that, because I can't do that. If I'm being honest with you, I really respect people, Lord forgive me, that can just ignore strangers, because I'm the opposite. Like, whenever me and my wife are out and about, and let's say there's someone who's like, "Hey, can I talk to you about?" My wife will act like that person could be getting hit by a car. And my wife will just dead center. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? And my wife is like, oh my God, we have things to do. And I'm like, but they have a pamphlet. I need to learn about it. But see, if that little white woman would be like, how tall are you? I'd be like, 6'3". So yeah, no, I actually don't play basketball. That's crazy. Thank you. Yeah.
I know. I talk to everybody too. I think Tim's better at you. I think you just keep your thing going though, Tim. I don't think you're rude when we go out.
No. I'm always looking for a way out though. Like I've got my out the second we start talking. So it's not gonna last long if I don't want it to.
I get all the way to I can't help myself. I will not sign the petition, but I'll hear the whole pitch. Like I'll get all the way to the end. And that's honestly worse because then they kind of look at me like, what a waste of my time. You're not going to sign the thing? And I'm like, no, I was being nice, but whatever.
That's also the thing of like either signing the petition or whenever they're like, panhandling or asking for money. I'm like, dude, I'll hear your whole story. I don't have $1 in my pocket. And then that's whenever they really look at you like, you son of a gun. Like they're like, how dare you? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I got
hit with a Venmo tag the other day during that exchange.
Yeah.
I walked out of the grocery store, was
stuff.
like, I don't have the cash.
Yeah, he'll be like, I can take a card. And I'm like, why are you in the street? What is this? What is going on? Pulls out like an iPhone 13. He's like, just go ahead and hit it right here.
I got a 501(c). This is actually a donation. So I was like, I was
at a gas station and a woman came up. I live near Dallas. I was more towards the city of Dallas. This woman came up and she was like, hey, do you have any money? And I get, like I said, I get so awkward. I just try to be a people pleaser. And I was like, no. And it was kind of cool, but I was like, I have this. And I was driving my mom's vehicle at the time. And I grabbed a scarf my mom had that was like made by a family member. And I go, here you go. And the woman looks me dead in the eyes and she goes, I'm going to die out here. And I was like, all right, well, have a good day.
Well, you can clean up with this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this will help me keep you warm. Sorry, but so that was fun.
Man. Well, if you had been equipped with the full armor of God, maybe that would have gone differently. Speaking of, today we are in Christian Movie Club to discuss the film BibleMan, The Incredible Force of Joy. It's a double dip here on these Star Wars puns. We have all consumed this movie separately. We are going to discuss. Tim, is there anything we need to know about this movie before we dive in here?
Yeah, and I think, technically, guys, this is not a movie. I don't believe. I think this is just a long episode. But nonetheless, for the sake of what we're doing and we're trying to accomplish, I'm going to call
this was on a VHS.
It was on a VHS. This came out in 1999. This was part of a larger series of BibleMan episodes. Just like Ben, I have never seen a BibleMan. I was too old for it. I was too cynical. I don't know.
Wow.
It was terrible. Like I wasn't around when it was coming out. This was 99. I was like graduating high school about here. So yeah, this was not something for me. But BibleMan, this at least. We're going to talk specifically, for the most part, about this episode. Yeah. This was written and directed by Willie Ames and Eric J. Smith. Willie is also BibleMan, of course, and he's got writing and acting credits all over BibleMan. We'll talk about some more in a second with his acting credits. Eric J. Smith has a couple of technical credits, like director of photography on like some school documentaries or something. But for the most part, you probably haven't heard of anything he's been in. Okay. This series, one of the things I like to talk about is a gross, like how much money did we make and what was our investment? And then what the internet told me was that specific gross total revenue figures for BibleMan series are not publicly disclosed. However, the series was successful enough within the Christian market to produce over 33 episodes across several iterations starting in 1995. So we don't know how much money they made, but they did quite a few episodes.
I also saw in a little bit of digging, I was just curious on some of this stuff. The original creator was Pamplin Entertainment.
Yes.
And they sold BibleMan to Thomas Nelson, I think in like 2000 or 2001. And the only reason I want to do one of these there is I think they sold right at the peak. Like, it just seems to me like you guys came off of BibleMan at the perfect time and probably sold it for quite a bit. Thomas Nelson maybe never made that money back. Not that there wasn't a lot more to be told in the BibleMan ethos and universe, but just way to get off when the time was right.
I'm very curious.
That's why they didn't disclose the dollar amount.
I'm very curious what they sold it a lot for. I imagine they maybe got like a cool 100,000 for the entire series, and they were like, "Ooh yeah, there we go."
It was a straight up trade for the power team. Like, it was just a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Can we just swap
for one member?
Anything else, Tim? We need to know.
So this film stars, of course, Willie Ames as BibleMan. Yeah. And he's got, I don't know if you know him, if you recognize him, but he's in he's got like a bunch of one-off acting credits in like some bigger TV shows like Gunsmoke and The Odd Couple and Little House on the Prairie, which I did not know. And he also played Fred Robinson on the Swiss Family Robinson TV series. However, he did 109 episodes of the show Age is Enough, and for me, he was best known as Buddy Lembeck in the TV series Charles in Charge. Do you remember that at all?
Wow.
Yeah, he was Charles's best friend, and he's like this goofy, like very, very funny character, like very lovable, likable, just goofy, dumb character. He's so fun. But that's what I knew him as, and I remember when he became BibleMan, that was the big tell for me. That was my connection point to my childhood. But the film episode stars Mark Wayne as Coates, his sidekick buddy. He did a couple of like random one-off things, like Long Bachelor's Pad, Cold Justice, and Space Journey. But you've not heard of these things.
Space Journey.
Yeah. Brian Lemons is the master of mystery. He did 12 episodes of BibleMan as different characters. So he was, hopefully I'm pronouncing these names correctly, Luxor Spawndroth, El Furioso, Dr. Fear, Prince of Pride, Shadow of Doubt, and Temptation. I wonder what he wore as Temptation.
That makes sense for things that happen in the episode, because I was very lost. And I felt like I was dropped in the middle of something, and I was like, okay, there's bits happening. But okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. And so, we talked about it a little bit beforehand, but the way we consumed this particular film was through a link that was on the YouTubes, and we got an ad for what's it called, the entertainment company. We got an ad for them at the beginning. We had like behind the scenes stuff afterwards. So I included all of that in this discussion because it's huge. But then we hear him talking about we hear him talking about the different characters that he's played. But he was in like War of the Worlds, Extinction, and that's it. He was in like 2 episodes of a show called Real Murders of Los Angeles, and in the TV movie Cruise Ship Murder. So it was a lot of death surrounding.
Incredible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, Milo McCaslin stars as Eunice, the original Siri or whatever, Alexa. She was married actually to Willie Ames at one point, so that's the big juicy detail. Yeah.
At one point.
I mean, several years. I wouldn't say it's not one point in time.
Are they no longer married? Is that what you're implying?
That's what I'm saying. They're no longer married. They were divorced in like 2006 or something.
Oh, okay. I thought she left as soon as it was sold, and she was like, "I'm out of here."
Well, if it's sold in 2001,
BibleMan money. Yeah.
Yeah. But she started her career in the show The Kid Superpower with Shazam, and her character's name in that show was Dirty Trixie. So now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But she was also in Blue Thunder and an episode of The A-Team and an episode of Charles in Charge. I wonder why. That might have been where they met. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, UNIS stands for Universal Networking Intelligence Computing Entity.
Thank you. Because I was waiting for anything. Again, also with the weird things about like the master of chaos or whatever his name was, there were jokes, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Why is she Eunice? Why isn't it? Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're good. I had to look all that up, so I'm sure Anthony remembers it.
Well, I actually saw a layer. I went down the BibleMan wiki fandom. Not a joke. And Eunice is a Bible character's name. I believe a Greek name, and the translation is victory. So
cool.
there's a little not good victory. Good victory. Eunice. Eunice, and it is Greek.
Okay,
so
well, this is spelled Unice. Okay.
A little double meaning for Eunice.
Yeah, which ties in. Well, I don't want to. Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, do you have any reviews for us, Tim, or anything else?
Yeah.
Move you along.
No, you're good. So there's a few reviews on here, not on this particular episode, but overall, and I think it's worth just kind of hitting. I really just want to hit the titles of these because it almost sounds like a dialogue that goes back and forth. So,
okay.
First one that stands out says, "It's outstanding example of and fun for children. My son grew up on BibleMan and loved it. He wore a cape and mask and a sword as a little boy. It was so adorable.
Yeah.
This series needs to be remade or republished again." Okay. Next one, 2 out of 10. Terrible in almost every aspect. BibleMan is bad in its writing, dialogue, characters, etc.
Wait, hold up. And I can actually see that on my end, and that was posted by Ben Kessler 2 days ago. Okay, cool. Awesome. Great.
Loved it. Next one, 3 out of 10. It's not so bad, guys. He said, okay, I understand where everyone's coming from when they say this is incredibly cheesy, but, I think it gives a good message to children. Next one, 1 out of 10. What are you talking about? This movie / series is horrible. It is horrific acting, plot, and effects.
Yes.
Next one, 10 out of 10. With a BibleMan should have been in Avengers Endgame. With a great personality and amazing figure, BibleMan should have destroyed Thanos. Next, 1 out of 10. Not fit for human consumption. Next, 1 out of 10. God have mercy.
Beautiful. That was incredible.
We're all over
War
the place.
being waged in the comments. Did you come across any sort of like tagline or little teaser for this one episode that we did?
Yeah. The IMDb synopsis for this particular episode was The Master of Misery determines to obtain enough power to overcome the world by stealing all the joy from BibleMan and also from a gifted middle school science student.
All right. There we go. That's our little teaser. I cannot wait to dive into this, especially with two friends that have never seen BibleMan before. So this is the part of the podcast where I say this. There is a link. This is a free to consume movie. It is available on YouTube. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can pause the podcast right now and go watch it, and then you will be totally up to speed with everything that we talk about. Or you can hang around for 1 second, and I'm going to talk you through the plot of the movie, and then you'll be up to speed as we discuss. Or maybe you're like me and you watched this in 1999 between your Adventures in Odyssey tapes that you were listening to on your tape deck. So those are your choices. I also like to say, listen, making things is difficult. I like to throw this in because it does matter to me. It is tough to make stuff. You got to put on a whole costume. You got to do a lot of eyeliner around your eyes to become BibleMan. Effort was put in on these productions, and I think people should make things. So everything we're about to talk about is about the film, the episode that we discussed of BibleMan. I don't know these people. I don't know. I know they put a lot of work into a thing and put it out for consumption. We consumed it. We're about to discuss it. Nothing we're about to say is about these people as people. We don't know them in particular. I don't want to speak to intention. I just want to talk about the product that was put out for consumption in the form of BibleMan, the force of joy, the force of joy, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah. The Force of Joy Awakens, I think.
The incredible force of joy awakens.
Thank you. I knew there was an adjective. Okay. All right. I'm going to read a more thorough summary than what Tim just said, and then me, Tim, and Ben are going to dive in and discuss. I didn't really give you a pause, but if you wanted to do it without spoilers, you got to go watch it right now. All right. Now we're going to do the summary. Welcome back if you watched the whole movie. Here we go. This little lightsaber of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This is the life motto of Miles Peterson, a man who had it all. Wealth, status, success, dial-up internet, until a fight with his briefcase left him face down in the mud, searching for answers. Luckily, the answers he desperately needed were in the mud with him, in the form of a giant Bible. Miles reads the Bible, crafts an armor of God's super suit, kidnaps a sidekick, and commits his life to battling wisecracking musical demons. One such demon, known as the Master of Misery, has an inferiority complex about William Shatner and a plan to steal all the joy from the world. But before the world, it's critically important to the plan that the Master of Misery stops Michael from participating in his school science fair. BibleMan will have none of this, so naturally he sends a drone into a middle school to secretly take pictures of the kids. Like any good Jedi, BibleMan uses his lightsaber, the Force of Joy, and a loose set of morals around AI and surveillance to stop the Master of Misery in his tracks.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
That's the movie.
Well done.
Everything in there is
Oh
actual,
my gosh.
unfortunately. All right, let's dive into it. We're going to start with Ben. Give me something that was shocking to you.
Okay, so you said loose set of morals around like AI and stuff. He also has a loose set of morals around murder. Because, and I didn't know this about BibleMan. Also, so just to clear it up, because again, I've never seen it. So like the Master of Misery and whatever that weird kind of, I'm just going to say this, kind of like bi villain in the beginning who wanted to kiss Coates. Are there demons?
So it was unclear.
Because here's the thing. There's also a whole, which I don't want to answer another question for later, but that whole singing bit, the very specifically in the lyrics, he was like, I was once a boy. So I'm like, okay, was the Master of Misery a boy? Because he gets blown up at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
And Eunice blows him to pieces, and
Yes.
BibleMan doesn't miss a beat. BibleMan's like, anyway, Eunice, how are you? It's like, that man's dead. And also in the beginning, the, I guess, demon got vaporized into a puddle. And BibleMan couldn't care less. Yeah. There's more time put towards him having to go potty before he comes in and helps Coates, which I was upset from the beginning. Because Coates, okay. But yes, the thing that I was thrown off the most by or surprised by was the murder of villains within this movie. Like, I was like, oh gosh, okay. Yeah. And then zero care put towards
anytime you're like, at the end of the day, we have to accept the fact that Batman has a higher code of ethics than BibleMan. Because BibleMan will toast you.
Yeah, and he just, and then he'll just ramble on, which, again, fair enough. It's a good thing for the kids. He'll talk about depression or whatever. And there's like bits of the villain in their like laboratory. And he's like, hold on, let me just step over this skull. So it really matters about your joy, kids. And it's like, okay, cool. But yeah, that was very surprising to me.
I love it. Tim, what do you got?
That's good. Yeah, for me, the second that musical number, which I think is what Ben was getting at, like that musical number popped up, and I was like, oh, that's why he has the Britney Spears headset on. Got it. And then they do a whole bit where it's like the Addicted to Love music video throwback with the women in black dresses with the guitars. Like this was that I was so shocked by that, and I never really liked it. of all the things they could have chosen to do there, I was good with all that.
Yeah, I'm really rocked. Ben makes such a good point about in the song he refers to himself being an 8-year-old boy, and so my presumption was that these were demons, but then that would be hard to reconcile in the lore.
They're also like, if they're demons that have to like dig tunnels and like walk to schools. Right. It makes more sense that they're like dudes,
limited by electricity. Yeah. Dang.
Also, not to jump ahead, but what happens to Ludacris? because Ludacris, there's a whole thing where Coates is like, I'm going to stay here at the school. He must have a guy here at the school. And then we never see Coates.
Yeah.
And then BibleMan just comes back after Master of Misery is dead. And he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, everything seems happier, which also doesn't make sense. I don't want to ramble, but doesn't make sense because Michael was the only one affected. And so it's like, and then Coates is like, yeah, everything's cool. And it's like, okay, Ludacris is just gone. They're not good at their job. I want to point that out. They're not good at the job. But
Ludacris went on to be a pretty successful rapper out of Atlanta. So things worked out well for him.
I would have loved so much if whenever he was like Ludacris and straight up just like big poofy hair, circa like first Fast and Furious, he's like, ha! I would have been like, yes! But unfortunately, no.
No, I do think he maybe defected into that middle. Like that was Ludacris saw a moment to defect and just started going to class. Like just became a middle school student from that.
Yeah, because he had that vibe. He was like a surfer kid, but also a demon for some reason. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, oh gosh. He's like, here's the what was it? The misery ray. And he's like, okay. Ray. I'm like, I don't even need to be BibleMan. Just give me a pistol. Give me a firearm and I'll deal with these guys real quick. Oh man.
The most shocking thing to me, and we've sort of alluded to it. So again, I'm going to put the exact YouTube link in the show notes if you want to see it. It is the VHS from start to finish. And I'll just get in the time machine for a moment because a lot of our listeners will not remember a time when content was consumed via VHS. So we didn't have a streaming service. We had what was on TV at the moment at this particular point in time. We couldn't even like record what was on TV unless you recorded it onto a VHS, whole other discussion. So you would get this in a little sleeve and you'd plug it in and it starts with an extended amount of commercials that you can fast forward through, but then you've got to really play with the beginning because you're going to miss some of it. So it was kind of tricky. And I got to say, in hindsight, what was shocking to me was just the incredible suite of kids' entertainment products available through Pamplin Entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were just banger after banger. You had a show or a magazine that featured a turtle that would answer life's most difficult questions. Kids could write a letter to a turtle about God, and the turtle would write a letter back to the kids about God, which is super handy. So many other things. Ernest from the Ernest series was a featured celebrity on a kids singing show featuring puppets, and everybody's favorite puppets in particular, Spinky and Reg. Those were the two highlight names. Not making those up. They're at the beginning of this movie. Yeah. Here's what I want to point out, though. Pamplin, this is a fun fact. This is a little trivia fact. Pamplin Entertainment Kids was like a record. They were making CDs. Pamplin Entertainment had like a whole album, like a record label, and they were doing different things. This came from a little bit of a deep dive from myself. An artist brought to the mainstream via a Pamplin Entertainment record label, Katy Perry. Katy Perry.
Oh my God.
That was a guess, and I knew it.
She released her, I think it's Katie Hudson is that first Christian album, and it came through Pamplin Entertainment record label.
Wow. Thanks, Pamplin.
Thanks, Pamplin.
Really appreciate that.
I think that's where she came up with the lyric of "If you feel like a plastic bag." Like now what?
I was thrown off by a couple of things with the ads. First off, only because of like recent news. One of the things was like "Heaven's Sake Kids," and that like dun 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 sounds very much like Little Saint James, which I'll just let people Google what that is. That was what came to mind. And then also one of the things right at the end was like from the company that loves kids. Mwah. And then it's like the kissy lips, and I was like, I don't like that.
Kiss on the screen.
I didn't like that at all. And I understand it's 99, it's a different time. The Matrix is out.
99.
Also, 99. But we can't just be doing the kissy thing with the kids. But yeah, that was very interesting. I also like the wide array of celebrities that it's like because
I had to look them up.
It was incredible. It was Ernest was the only one who I was like, oh, I've seen Ernest. I remember Ernest goes to whatever. And then the other two are like, what about these really old people? And it's like, okay, well, I don't
You mean
know,
Dick Van Patten and Debbie Boone?
I love Van Patten.
How do you know who they are?
I'm so sorry. I was 2. I was crawling around, and then they were like, "Look, BibleMan." I was like, "Pass. I'll watch this whenever I'm 28. That'll be much better."
There'll be a time. Give me a character you wanted to see. Wait, did I skip one? No, give me a character you want to see less of. Yeah, give me a character you want to see less of. Ben, start with you.
BibleMan. I wanted less. But I'm not gonna lie to you, because again, all I knew of BibleMan was from memes. I didn't realize. Speaking of like the height thing, BibleMan's like 5'6".
Yeah, that was a short guy.
Everyone's bigger than him. Michael is bigger than him. Whenever he's talking to Michael, the child, at the end, he's like, "Michael, let me tell you about God." It's like, this is supposed to be, and he's also like 45, which God bless William, he couldn't affect that. But BibleMan, I think of the Christian version of Batman. He should be, and also
imposing.
Tom, what am I thinking of? The like 95 or whatever Batman. That's clearly what they were going with someone like the riffs and stuff. Like whenever he drops, he's like, "Can I drop in?" And even the lighting and everything. But then it's just 45-year-old Willie Mays, and he's again 5'4" or whatever he is. Everyone's bigger and cooler than him, and also he's going through this weird thing throughout the episode where he has like a midlife crisis or whatever, which I understand. Yeah. He's like, "I don't like it."
He was having the joy sucked out of him.
Yeah, he was having JD. Joy dysfunction, but he also completely disregards his entire team, because right in the beginning, and I wanted to write it down, but he's like, "Oh, there's only so much one man can do," and he's talking to Coates, and Eunice is right there, and he's like, "Well, that's why you guys help out." It's like the villain in the beginning, you didn't even need to be there. Because Coates is like the actual, well, whatever, I'll get to that later. But whenever Coates has like the arm lasers and murders that villain, and BibleMan's literally there like, "What's up?" But yeah, BibleMan was so useless and annoying to me, and I wanted less of him. I wanted the Coates show, to be honest with you, but yeah.
Yeah. It's totally fair. Tim, do you have a character you want to see less of?
Yeah, I mean, mine was the stoner kid sidekick.
Luda.
Yeah, Ludacris. Like I just could have done with him never talking at all, or just not playing up this whatever high school skater stoner
Killing head.
So, it was a little much. I saw too much of him.
Yeah, it was very this is gonna be another 90s throwback, but it was very All That, from like where it was like you have like an idea of like, he's like a skater kid, but it's like there's no nuance to it. All that when one of the good ones wasn't doing it, I should say. There was some really good, talented people and all that. Mine, what I wanted to see less of was Michael in the school. I just thought, boy, at one point he tells the teacher, "You don't have to call the attitude police," which I just was like, that's tough writing. Like, I wish I could blame AI for that writing. I wish we had somewhere to point that, but a human had to write that and say, "I'm pretty sure this is how the kids talk. They're always referring to the attitude police."
To be fair, though, the moment prior to that, she was like, "Your grades are falling, and so is your attitude." Like, so don't tell me about my attitude. You don't know what's going on with me, woman.
She also like gaslights his sadness, because he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing good," and she's like, "Oh, come on," and he's just like, "Oh," and then you learn that a demon is sucking his joy away, and this woman is like, "Come on, Michael." Which also, again, not to nitpick every single thing about this, she walks out of her classroom with 4 students ranging in ages of like 12 to 18, which I don't know what she's teaching. And he's yelling at a friend about a party, and she's like, "Come on, dog, what are you doing?" And he's like, I'm not happy. And she's like, "Shut up, nerd. You need to get to class. You have the science fair." And I agree, you know what I think it is, though? Is because nobody laughs or treats it with any like levity whenever he's like, "Don't call the attitude police." Yeah. Because in this world, it's also a thing whenever BibleMan shows up at your science fair, no one cares. No one's like, "Oh my gosh, there's a superhero." So I think there was a part, I think it was actually decent writing, where he's like, please don't call BibleMan. I don't want to deal with that little man to come and mess up my life. This will not help.
That scene when the teacher comes out really made me laugh out loud, because you had these 2 boys, Michael and his friend, and they were supposed to be in an argument, but it was clearly like a production issue where they couldn't ISO audio, so they weren't allowed to talk. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but him and his friend are going like, and the other kids are like, "Thanks for teaching me today, teacher," and they're within like they're on the same screen, and they're like, "I learned a lot. Thank you for caring so much about us as students." And these kids
I'm 9. I'm 17. Bye. Yeah.
And then they just start talking again, which was
Oh my God.
jarring to me. All right, give me a character you want to see more of. Start with Ben.
Coates. I wanted the Coates show with BibleMan who shows up occasionally. And that's the way that you make the show, I think, better. Not to redo it, but this show specifically, you give Coates the reins. Coates has more charisma. Coates has the better lines. He is right. Kumquat is a funny word. And that should have got more play. And meanwhile, BibleMan's like, can you actually get together? It's like, no, shut up, Charles in Charge or whatever you're from. I am talking. I am the cool black sidekick who, for whatever reason, only has one name, like Beyonce. Coates deserves justice. He's also much cooler, more powerful. He's got the weird like shield.
Yes.
The shield that just blocks death rays. He's fighting demons on his own. Coates is awesome. And then he's just delegated. He doesn't even get a bike, which is rude. And I think a little bit of, I don't want to say anything. But anyway, the Eunice is messing with him the whole time. And it's just so unfair. And then,
I'm just a little afraid Coates is being held against his will. I just saw no...
I wanted to ask that. Because you said he kidnaps a sidekick.
Why is he there? Where does he live?
Why does he have military fatigues?
Why does he always in costume?
I couldn't tell the costume, whether it was military or if he was like one of the Black Panthers or something. Like he's got some bars here with the beret.
He was very G.I. Joe. Where it's like, okay, this is like half military, half like
definitely paramilitary for sure.
He almost looked like Mortal Kombat kind of, or like Tekken. Yeah. He looked like a solid like Christian Tekken character because he had the big cross right here on the beret, so you had to just remember what you're watching. But and then he's got the army. You know what he is? Sorry, but he's like Jax from Mortal Kombat, Christianized. There we go.
Great comp, and he was always in battle ready costume. Like BibleMan got to like get dressed, and
that's true.
Poor Coates was like, "You're in work uniform the second you show up." And then in the beginning, this is where I was getting kidnapping vibes. In the beginning, he's searching for his keys, and we don't know why. I think Coates is trying to get out. I think Coates is trying to get out of this, and no one will give him his keys, and no one will give him a vehicle, and they all just yuck it up at the end of the episode. And Coates is like, "I had a family before you guys took me into this weird cave with stained glass. I had kids.
You're making me kill people." It would be great if there was a deleted scene where Coates goes to the bathroom and he's just looking in the mirror like, and he's like grabbing it. It's like that scene for whatever, but where he's like, and then BibleMan's like, "Coates, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing." And then he just comes back out. "What's up, dog?" And then
Tim, who'd you want to see more of?
Okay, so I unlike Anthony said I want to see more of Michael, the middle school kid. But here's why: I want to hear more about what's causing his depression. Like what we are defining as clinical depression is him like everybody's science fair project is better than mine.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's what's causing problems in your little bubble of a world. It must be so hard, Michael. Tell me more. Are your parents still together and you don't like that? Is that really irritating you? Do you have like too much expendable income to buy, like you're not sure which car to buy and that choice is going to be really difficult for you? Oh,
yeah.
Oh
my God.
Those are real issues though, Tim, and BibleMan needs to step in.
I have my choice of colleges to attend, and I've got scholarships, and I just don't know how to use them.
I have too much money in my pockets. My pants keep sagging. Everybody's making fun of me. No, I almost said Michael for mine because I didn't care about Michael. And like the episode kind of was supposed to be about Michael's difficulty, the demons targeting him, but we see Michael like 2 or 3 times. Also, I thought I would have liked to see, it's BibleMan. I wanted to kind of see like Michael at church or something, because it's a very funny interaction to me at the end where BibleMan's like, Michael, Jesus, and John, and Michael's kind of like, yeah. No, yeah, I remember that. So it's like Michael didn't want to tell me. He's like, I don't really. Okay, cool, dude. Thanks. Could you leave now? Because I'm really uncomfortable. There's just a guy there in a very clearly styrofoam suit, like, Michael, Jesus in the gospel, and he's like, cool, thanks, man. Bye, bye, little guy. But yeah, I wanted like a little bit more with Michael. But yeah,
that's on head.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's
Bible
okay.
Man. That
Coates
is a
has
really
like nuclear guns, and he's like, "All right, dude, chill out." But
gosh, there's so much you're bringing up, Ben, that I'm like obsessed with. Because one, Bible Man kills no one, but both of his cohorts kill people. So it's almost like Bible Man is like pulling the strings on these coworkers. He's
like Jigsaw.
Yes.
He's like, I don't actually kill anyone. I just put their head in a bear trap. I don't know.
They're like this, going like, oh, actually, I didn't do anything. Gosh, that's really messing with me. But yeah, that was a great Michael throwaway line where he references a Bible verse, and Michael's like, "Oh yeah, I think I remember that one."
Thanks, sir.
Very good youth pastor. I don't know what you're talking about. Character I wanted to see more of was already referenced, but it was definitely the Master of Misery's Britney Spears Mike. Very present right from the beginning. I don't know if he's just prepared to break out in song at any point. If that's like an improv, like if he has the freedom on set to go like, now is when I feel like the song hits. So we just leave the mic on just for whenever the moment hits. I don't know why a villain of that type would need a very visible singing microphone from the start of the episode to the end. But I want to know more. I don't know if he's sort of like voice recording notes for his thoughts later that he reads. I don't know. I want more on why he's got a Britney Spears mic on the whole time.
He's very much so Deadpool because he knows he breaks the fourth wall constantly. Right. Him and Ludacris both, which you don't see Bible Man or the other kid. See, that's the thing that's weird. It's almost like it's actually their show because they're breaking the fourth wall. They're like, William Shatner, which I don't know why he gets poo-pooed on like twice, I think. It was weird.
He was an easy target in the late 90s.
Okay, fair enough. Touche. But yeah, it was weird. And then bringing up like Ludacris blatantly goes like, "Why do you look different?" And he's like, "Shut up, dude." It's like, okay, What is this? Because if I'm a kid, I would be confused. Anthony, I don't know if you were watching this and you were like, "Oh, he's breaking the fourth wall. That's actually really funny meta humor." It's like, who's this for? This is bizarre to me.
Let me tell you, I definitely knew who William Shatner was. That's for sure.
Valid.
I was very locked in. No, the Carmen joke hit a little harder for me because I was very deep into the Carmen culture. But that was quite the jump to go from Carmen to Shatner. But anyway, we digress. Give me a low point in the movie for you, Ben.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to be the odd man out here because it was the thing that I think you guys loved. Okay, here's the thing: the singing portion.
Okay.
Which I think also because I didn't get the reference, so I didn't appreciate it for that. Also, it felt like, and I could be wrong, I think I'm 100% accurate. It felt like it was about 12 minutes long, and I was just waiting. I was like, okay, I get the bit. Can it please, God, be over? And then it just kept going. Yeah, maybe if it was like half the length, I would have liked it, but I was like, also it was weird how the camera, maybe that was part of the reference, but even the camera like tone changed, all of it. I was like, I'm out. I don't need this. I'm going to go to the restroom. Like, yeah. And then also the weird thing about him being a boy, because I was like, all right, I don't know. What is this? Who is this man? And, yeah, there you go. But that's it for me. The singing portion was rough for me.
Tim, what do you got?
That's fair. And I think to Ben's point, I did in my notes said, geez, this music is still going on. Like it was a very
don't you wonder, you just wonder in production when you're, because again, these are choices and you're going then, like we've got 30 minutes of an episode. Maybe we spend a little bit more time saying what's going on in Michael's life. No, because that song's got to be 12 minutes. And if we took away one bar, from
you get the bit because the chances are back then that could have become a music video too. Like that could have been a real thing. They could have just ushered it straight to VH1 or something. My low point was just again to choose one as who's your favorite kid. Just like what did we watch at the beginning? That whole ad thing, that 3-minute ad, or the first 3-minute ad for Pamphlet Entertainment. Like those Hollywood moguls in Hollywood, they don't know what we want as parents. You're right. You're right. We don't. And then, every bit of all the references we said before. That like Ben said that the like angle tilt. Even I know we talked about like the tone. Like the environment change, but the 22.5 degree angle tilt of the camera on the Master of Misery, like that was weird. BibleMan quoting scripture while he's fighting just made me think like, geez, I wonder why he's not married. Imagine arguing with your wife and quoting scripture the whole time. You would be out of the house in a second.
This is too soon. Him and Eunice, this is still fresh for a lot of us, Tim.
Oh my gosh. BibleMan gets pulled over for a DUI and he's like, Mark 3, and they're like, shut up, sir, I don't want to hear this right now. They're like bouncing his head off the hood.
Little wine to settle your stomach. Oh man. Was you have more, Tim? Was that it?
Do I have? Of course, I have more. I don't need to get into them all. But
okay,
I have said enough.
I want to kind of build on one you said though, because that was for me. And again, it's just two choices that were made. You started, creator of this whole thing, with like Hollywood doesn't know what us parents want. 45 seconds of screen time later, some guy looks at Coates and goes, "Let's kiss and make up."
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was like, what? What? What am I doing here? And we came in the end of that story, so I have no context. Is this supposed to be like a dog character? I have no clue what I'm walking in on. But I was immediately like hit with like that was a dialogue choice that you said right off the jump for a character that was never going to be able to put that in any sort of context.
No. Let's gay tease this character and then melt him. Melt him within a minute. Okay, cool. Wow.
Done. Moving on. All right, give me a high point, Ben. What was your high point?
I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'll say this. I wrote down the effects because I was actually earnestly surprised, especially with Eunice. The Eunice satellite, I was like, you know what? Not bad. Especially for now knowing it was 99, not bad. And this like, the budget was like $1,000, and it's like, wow, you guys are impressive. This looks solid. I also did kind of like, even though all the fight scenes were terrible, whenever they would hit something, and it was like a real spark. That I appreciated.
Yeah.
I would say those were the high points, and I was like, especially Eunice, even though they put her this giant like floating orb in a school and nobody sees her, and that makes no sense whatsoever because she's like 6 feet off the ground. But the effect itself, I appreciated.
in the center of the hallway.
And also, she's making noise. Whenever she comes out, she's like,
beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Yeah, they're like, hey, remain chill, Eunice. Don't let them see you. She's like a giant glowing ball. She has arms, and she literally looks like a Star Wars droid. And she's like, okay, BibleMan, whatever you say. But yeah, that was my high point.
On par with just to continue the late 90s, early 2000s references, Flubber with Robin Williams featured an almost identical kind of floating robot machine, and I thought I legit wondered like, oh man, that seems like very borrowed, just the way it kind of was curvy flying all the time, and that was like the same with the Flubber one. But anyway, Tim, high point.
No, it's funny, man. I forgot about that and like the sort of romantic tension between the Flubber doctors.
That's right.
Robot and him. Yeah, forgot about that. High points for me. Sorry, we are talking about high points, right?
Yeah, we're
because I've got the one. For me, it was this like behind the scenes footage afterward, everything that wasn't part of the movie. Hearing BibleMan describe like these characters really getting into describing. Well, my character, is BibleMan, and really in reality, it's kind of like Batman. Oh, really? Is that what you were going for? Mind blown. Thanks, buddy.
The Cape Christian? I should have put it together sooner.
I had no idea that that's what you were going for. But mostly for me, the Master of Misery, when he gets, I don't know if you watched this part of the behind the scenes footage, but when he gets into like, I guess the question was about this character, like, how did you come up with character? And he's like, well, as far as characters go, I mean, like, I'm basically the same guy, like in all the other ones. Basically the same guy. I just use different tactics, and like I'm dressing up as something new. Yeah, you really thought I'm basically the same guy because the writers didn't write anything different.
Yeah,
I just did the same thing. I don't know if you could tell, but I did the exact same thing in all of the films in this series. That got me. Like, oh, no kidding, man. That was your method acting, to just do the same.
It was clear there was a lot of retreats done to really know the character backstory. I loved in the behind the scenes, Coates goes, yeah, Coates is like good at computers. I think he goes, computers and chaos. And I just thought, yeah, you got no. You're reading off the prompter, which is fine. Yeah. Get your check. There's no background on these. This doesn't really.
There's also not 5 digits in that check. I also had a high point, like kind of like Ben was saying, the special effects. I was like, oh gosh, I'm kind of impressed that the lightsabers look like this. It was the lightsabers. I was like, oh geez, this is pretty cool. And then I realized this was put out in 1999, and they did that in like 1977 with the original Star Wars lightsabers. So
very funny.
Stop being impressed.
Very funny, because I had an almost identical thought of I'll start with mine and just kind of like echo that echo. I thought the special effects felt like they were done well, and then I'm even watching the lightsaber fights going like, yeah, there's been worse lightsaber fights in Star Wars movies. And I had I was like, that's right, the year was 1971. We had just gone to the moon for the first time. But they truly were like not. Like they were not awful. I was like, this is choreographed pretty well. Like you're looking for, this is what you're looking for. I mean, it's.
Can I point out one thing?
Yeah.
BibleMan holds his lightsaber here,
right,
and he leaves all this down there. And I don't know. I genuinely want to know. I was curious, and I didn't know if it would come up at all in the behind the scenes. I was like, I wonder if the prop is so rickety that he has to hold it together, and he's like, okay, let's just do this right here, because otherwise, and you know what, man, way to make me vote or like root for the villain. The Master of Misery holds it more like this, proper.
Yeah.
BibleMan leaves all, and it's also so big and chunky, so it comes down even more, and he's like, I'm gonna get. I switched the. Oh no.
No, Ben, no. Oh, no.
But anyway, yeah, that was something that very much so upset me in the multiple scenes that he did it.
Yes, I had that same note, and just as far as like, it's funny because I love the Star Wars series, and they have such respect for the mechanics of a lightsaber and how like you couldn't possibly hold this part, and this is how it would. And BibleMan's is out all the time. He just struts around with it out constantly. That part was funny. My other high point that I gotta point out, the BibleMan intro song slaps, and I'll fight anybody on that one. BibleMan, like it
Sword
was.
Of the Spirit.
That was a great track. The way that it was very 90s. It was very like, oh my gosh, like nailed it. BibleMan intro song is perfection. Probably killed at the live shows, man. Like they probably played that live with a band. BibleMan intro song was a high point for me. Also the stuff, and then I gotta say I didn't hate the 2 camera work. I felt like that was a little ahead of its time. A couple jokes to camera. BibleMan has one. I don't know if you guys know it, where the master of
during the fight
or whatever. Yeah, he's like, "You really believe that stuff?" And BibleMan goes, "You bet I do." And looks right at camera. Right. And I was like, "That's a good bit. That's a good bit." Okay. It's campy, and I'll allow it. Okay, so now we come to the final. This is the part of the podcast everybody tunes into. Well, I guess I like to do sometimes a little segment before this in that, is there anything else that just didn't come up naturally that we need to discuss that anybody has?
So many 5,000 things, but I mean, we can't cover all of them.
Right.
It was literally everything. Yeah.
I mean, everything, it felt very like VBS. Like this just felt like it was done at a VBS. That's just something I kept thinking about. The performances. All that jazz, but all right, we'll get to the end then. So this is our scale. At 5 out of 5 is the highest grade of that you can give a movie. It's 2 raised hand emojis. So Ben, we'll start with you. How many raised hand emojis do you give BibleMan, The Incredible Force of Joy?
I'm gonna review it 2 different ways slightly. One is my genuine, like, how much I enjoyed it. The other one, and I learned this recently from, like, some buddies, because we were talking about music and blah, 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 is also, like, the intention of the creator. So I'm going to say, as far as the intention of the creators of BibleMan, this was probably, like, a 4 out of 5. Like, I think they did this, and then they went back and they're like, nailed it. We
okay.
basically,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Maybe we'd fix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Me watching this?
Yeah.
I'm going to be very nice, and I'm going to say a 2 out of 5. I was just dreading. I'm currently watching the Darth Maul show, which has a very similar runtime. They're like 20, 30-minute episodes. Yeah. Those run by. Yeah. This, you feel every minute of the show, and you're like, okay, great. Yeah. So I'm gonna say a 2. I'm gonna say a 2 out of 5.
Tim, what do you got?
I mean, a 1, maybe. It was so bad. It was so bad. The only thing even giving it a 1 was the musical number, which was great. But then it also went for 14 minutes, and we didn't need any more. Yeah, no, I was tired of watching it even before the ad was finished. So yeah, there's no reason for any one of our viewers to actually go back and watch it.
In fairness, that ad went on for so long.
My
so
God,
did everything.
My wife was doing this thing. She started making these things. I'm not going to go into that. She was in the room and could hear it. And at one point goes, "Is that still the same ad going?" And I was like,
"Yeah." So rough.
We're on to the other parts of the ad now. Well, guys, I loved every second of this. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I couldn't recommend this highly enough. It's so, to me, BibleMan is late 90s content. It's awful. It's campy. I think you should don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's so nostalgic to me. There's nothing to be taken away positive, really. It's not like anything you can actually learn. We don't actually know what Michael's going through. We don't actually have any practical tools for how to find joy because we don't have a superhero armor of God suit and a lightsaber. But I gotta tell you, if you're into B content and you are into things that make you say, how in the world did this get made and this exist at one point in the world, it's hard to beat some VHS first edition BibleMan stuff. And that's the score I'm going to give it. Again, I kind of go with a little bit of what you're saying, Ben, I've done before where you're like, is it good? No, it's not. Even when they're almost onto something good where you're like, the master of mayhem maybe is somebody who just doesn't experience joy the same way as the rest of us. We're like,
kill him. Blow him up. Kill him with electricity.
How about he just die?
And not care. Because it was an accident. Eunice is like, oh no, and then just boom.
Oopsie.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's so bad. To me, this is squarely in the so bad it's good category. If you've not seen one BibleMan straight to VHS, I'm only speaking for myself, obviously. I think they're worth watching because you just got to go, wow, this was the 90s, man. This was it. This is what we were doing. And I went back and was like, the musical numbers, all of it, the refusal to use an Apple box for BibleMan. It's authentic, you know?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise gets an Apple box in all of his movies. Not BibleMan. He's true to his height.
It would have been great if in the BibleMan suit, like they give him like go-go boots, like giant lifts, and then whenever he's just regular, he's his 5'4" self. That would have been incredible. I would have really admired that because the superhero. Never mind. Again, I could go on and on. Why does he let the Master of Misery and Ludacris walk away? They fight for a minute, yeah, and he's down on a knee, and then he's like, and then they walk off. They don't even run away. Anyway,
he's
sorry.
Really got no. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys when I say how serious my review is. I found another one. The something about the Fury, the something of Fury, and I'm going to watch that when we're done with our podcast tonight. I'm going on a deep dive. I'm being re-inspired. Again, it makes no sense at all. I mean, they make no attempt to make any sense. Why does he have a super suit? Why? What makes him a superhero? No questions answered. This is what's crazy to viewers. If you weren't around during the 90s, that's how we made media. We just were like, Jim Carrey put a mask on, and now he's a cartoon. Go full movie, greenlit.
Don't you dare
think about it.
No, the mask is incredible.
It's
amazing. So funny and good. This is a dumpster fire of human feces.
Terrible.
Thank you, Ben. I hate when I'm the only one speaking reality to
you
Anthony.
guys are not
Don't say
wrong.
This is what we did in the 90s.
No.
There's garbage now. There's always been garbage. This is garbage with a cross on it. And it's more frustrating.
We spend too much time in these days media trying to make things make sense. We got to go back to this 90s concept. Say less and just run with it.
We are all dumber for having watched what we just watched, and Anthony's going back for seconds.
The idea that you're like, I found another, I'm going to watch. What? Are you
watching another one?
What is happening here?
I'm watching another one. Stop trying to make things make sense. Put a guy in a purple suit, say that he's got a lightsaber that he holds in his bare hands.
That's insane.
In the 90s, we had a dinosaur family walking around using cast iron skillets.
Give him his pills.
Don't ask any follow-up questions. Yeah, it's really bad. But if you like bad stuff, you should watch it because it's fun.
What did you give it out of 10? Did I interrupt you? I apologize.
I'm like a 4.5, 4.5. For me, I go to this, Ben, with I'm looking for B content. I have a soft spot in my heart. It's one of the reasons why Tim and I do this together. And so I'm looking for so bad it's good. I'm looking for quotable lines and just obvious gaffes. By the way, at one point, Eunice has a typo on one of her reports that's on the screen. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's just so sloppy, and I'm here. I'm here for all of it. So that's BibleMan, and we did it with Ben Kessler, the Lord's Giant. Everybody, give it up for him one more time.
Thanks, Ben.
Ben, thanks so much for being on.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry I did that bit where I put the lightsaber in my mouth and, but that's fine. We could edit that out if you guys have to. I understand. But this was great. No, this was a lot of fun. Tim, I know you hated this as much as I did. Imagine if for whatever reason you thought you had to watch it 3 or 4 times because you really wanted to get every moment. I have to.
Well, don't worry. I've had to watch the last, 50 episodes of essentially the same thing. So it's fine.
Oh, gosh. You poor souls. Mm-hmm. Anthony thinks this was good. Look, this was a lot of fun. I'd love to do it again, but I swear on everything that is holy, if it's another episode of BibleMan, I'll never speak to either of you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
What can we tell people? If you're not following already at the Lord's Giant, I'll put that in the show notes. Anything else we can tell the people? What do you got going on, Ben? What can we tell them?
Really, I mean, it's the Lord's Giant on everything, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon. But speaking of my buddy Josh Benson, coming out here relatively soon, we're going to have our own podcast called Josh and the Giant, where it's just going to be us, not with any real motive, just being ourselves. So just goofing and being silly. But that should be, first episode of that probably should be out within, especially a month of whenever this comes out.
All right.
Yeah. Josh and the
Check
Giant
out
on YouTube and Instagram.
Josh and the Giant, the Lord's Giant. Again, I'll put that in the show notes if you're not following him already. Ben, you're great. We'll definitely have you back, and I won't make you do another BibleMan episode. We'll do the BibleMan animated series, which is much better, guys.
We should do 180 and just watch like Martin Scorsese's Silence and just be like, okay, well, this is technically a Christian film, like high quality. Okay, thank God. All right.
Every once in a while, I do allow Tim to like sneak one of those in. That's like, oh, this one's like a real movie that is got overt Christian themes. Well, I'll allow one, but most of the time, I like to stay in the to-be world of things that shouldn't probably be consumed.
Jeez. Oh, shoot.
And Tim's a great sport. All right, well, we love you, Ben. Thank you. We're going to have you back soon. Everybody else, thanks for following along. Thanks for being a part of the Christian Movie Club. Send us your movie suggestions at The Bible is Funny, and we always keep a list of those, and we'll do one really soon, and we'll talk to you then, okay? See you later. Thanks for being here. Bye.